All right, welcome back. So your lesson today, if you chose this one, is on, emailing a teacher or professional. Okay, so professional could include anyone from a instructor, your teacher, your boss, basically any adult. Okay, when you are using an email to communicate information that's not just chatting. Okay, so keep in mind that emails typically serve the purpose of professional communication. Okay, for meaning, to start a conversation, to communicate important concepts or questions, etc. I see a lot of students use the Gmail tool, like use their email as more of like a text message, right? Since you can't text in class, students will like chat via Gmail on their student email, which is not a problem, but that's a different type of emailing. Okay, so what that relates to is the concept of code switching. So what's code switching? Let's take a look. Code switching is the practice of alternating between two or more languages or varieties of language in conversation. So that's our key here. It's not bilingual. It doesn't mean you're switching from English to Spanish. We're going to use code switching as meaning the practice of alternating between two or more varieties of language in conversation. Okay, you don't talk to your friends the same way as you talk to me, or other professionals, right? You switch up your language, you switch codes, so to speak. Code switching, another example of code switching could be texting your mom versus texting your best friend. There are references, maybe symbols and other things that your best friend is going to understand that maybe your mom wouldn't. Okay, so that's an example of code switching. So we need to kind of code switch when we're emailing a professional, especially in the job world outside of high school. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at an example of what that could look like. We're going to, number one, first concept, take some notes on this. Add a title, okay, to your email. No untitled emails. All right, have a subject. It should be the subject of your email. If you're talking about grades, the subject should be my grades or something similar, or my score on the recent essay, something like that. Okay, you also want to include a greeting. You want to include a body of the email, okay, in correct grammar or using correct grammar. Full sentences and question marks. I get a lot of emails with just a long question that's maybe a few sentences or a run-on, but there's no question mark at the end. So it takes me a couple extra minutes to kind of decode the sentence and go, okay, what does the student actually want from me at this point? And the quicker that your recipient, the person who's receiving the email, can decipher your email, then the faster they can get back to you. So you want a prompt response. So make your email clear and to the point as well, okay? It doesn't have to include a lot of fluff. You don't have to tell your teacher, like, I hope you're having the best day ever, and blah, blah, blah. No, just put a greeting, the body of your email, so what you want. You might even include some ethos, pathos logos if you need to. Logos, maybe your facts, like what you're dealing with. Hey, I got a 77 on the essay. I was wondering how I could get that up, okay? You might include some pathos, like, hey, this is what's been going on this week. It's been really challenging. Can I get an extension? Okay, if you're asking for something, ethos. Hey, I've been a great student for you like all semester. I have turned in all of my assignments on time. Okay, that's building your own ethos. Can I get an extension on just this one? Because then throw in your logos or your pathos. Okay. Then the last thing is just to sign off. Okay. And so that can be something as simple as have a great day and then put your name. Okay. All right. So that's kind of the outline of a professional conversation. Students, I use this every single day. I cannot emphasize the amount of emails I get and the amount of emails I send. And that is actually pretty typical in a professional job world. Even if you're going into being an electrician, like you're going to send emails and you're going to send quotes for people and invoices and questions that you need answered in pretty much any profession. That's just the world we live in. So this structure can be really, really helpful. You can even, here, I'll show you guys what I have on mine. You can even set it up, and I'm going to go full screen here, this tool. You can even set it up so that you can have your own signature sign off with your credentials. So this right here shows my ethos, Claire Hamer, and like that's my master's degree, my roles at the school. And so your ethos can kind of shine for you, and then like the Foothill logo. And that way you don't have to really sign off on emails if you don't want to. I always like to do a double sign off. Okay, so let's say you're emailing your teacher. We'll just do me. I'll send an email to myself. Okay. And let's say that what I really want from the email is to talk about, whoops, you didn't input my handout, then I know I submitted it, but you must have missed it. So missing handout grade, okay? We'll go missing linguistics handout grade, okay? So let's say like I forgot to score or forgot to input your handout or grade on a handout, and you know you did it, you know you turned it in. You could just do what I've seen a lot of students do, and that is put all of the thing in the subject line. Okay, and then send it. Please never do that. Okay, there's no context. There's no context. What's yesterday? I could be receiving this that day or the next day or the next day, okay? There's no context. There's no formality to it. There's no please and thank you. Like there's no politeness whatsoever. That email, just so you know, is probably going to get ignored. But here's one that wouldn't get ignored. So let's go grade on linguistics handout. Okay, so now we've got a subject. All right. Hi, Mrs. Hamer. Okay, note their title. If they are married and they have asked you to call them, if it's a female, like Mrs., then please don't put Miss. Okay, if they've said it's okay to just call them by their last name, like I'm okay with that. You can just put their last name or Mr., okay? But definitely not their first name. I've seen that over and over in the professional world. Sorry, gotta refer to them as their title, okay? So, hi, Mrs. Hamer. I am writing to let you know. Okay, that's a really kind way to say, hey, there's something you need to take care of. Or writing to let you know, or inform you, or ask you, okay? Writing to, we'll go ask. Okay. I'm writing to ask about yesterday's handout. There's some context. Did you find my linguistics handout? Look, question with question mark. I'm pretty sure I turned it in, but it showed up on Aries as missing. That gives me enough logos, okay, or whoever is receiving this, enough logos, like here's the facts of what happened, a question versus an accusation, okay? Please don't just go, you didn't input my homework. Like, teachers are for you guys. They're on your side. Or professionals usually are as well. So questions are always better than accusations. Okay, nice little thank you. And then you're going to sign off with your name. Boom, done. That is a brilliant email. You do not need fluff. You don't need to, butter them up or whatever. Never hurts. That is a clear, professional, succinct, prompt email that would definitely get a prompt response or should get a prompt response. Same goes for any professional realm. Let's say you are emailing to follow up on an application. All right, and then you interviewed with somebody named Mr. Clark. I am writing to follow up on the job application I submitted recently for the position of boom. Okay, and then throw in a question. Will you be holding interviews soon? Question mark. Thank you, and name. Okay. Those are some basic principles of emailing a professional. If somebody has a doctorate degree, note that. Okay, always note their title. We call them doctor. Okay. Thank you very much. Happy emailing.